Hmm.
Non, en fait, non.
Carl Sept here. To go. It's good to see you. Good to be with Carl Sept here. And maybe we're not quite Sept. Good to see you. Good to be with Carl Sept here. And maybe we're not quite Sept. There. Now we're all set. So we're zooming this call here from Zoom, and with a group of 60 or more on this retreat, and it's good. It's a good thing. It's good to have people that are awake or almost awake all together in a group like this, along with everyone, because it's a very powerful thing. And on the level of the being itself, it's a great thing, because the being gets an opportunity to experience itself more deeply through us, through all of us here that are here. It's just one self, one being itself, in all these different, beautiful, unique bodies. And so it gets to experience all these various qualities and configurations of the internal reality of itself, all at once here, and maybe open up to some of those beautiful qualities as well, because they are all universal qualities within the structure of consciousness in its process of being conscious of itself. It creates all of these waves and frequencies of itself, of consciousness itself, in the process of falling back upon itself, curving back upon itself like that. And all of these waves and frequencies come alive. They're there. And these frequencies interact and appear as the configuration of your body-mind at a point, and really are all of the qualities of intelligence that make up the entire world and universe, in more of the boundlessness of itself. So a whole grand, beautiful picture emerges here of the total self, the total being, just being awake to itself at every point within itself. And so all of the whole environment around us here, the space around us, the objects around us, all of the atmosphere in the earth, and all of the solar systems and the universe everywhere, the whole universe, all of that is just an expressed appearance of the memory, the smrti that is inherent in consciousness, in its process of knowing itself. All of these things, these planets, these galaxies, these solar systems, all of these, goes on into infinity. Really, what they really are the remains of the manifest and sort of not even really manifest, but the expression of the memory of consciousness itself, of all its past from eternity, its past civilizations, we can say, its past creations, You know? And so that's what it really is, all that investigation that the scientists are doing, astronomers, all that are doing, is really, it's going into the past. And it's really from the perspective of the timeless now of the self itself. All of that is happening right now. Every creation that has ever been, from time immemorial, is here now. It's actually here now. And, we're at the point where we get the opportunity to be able to open up, where the being itself, we have to say, the being itself, the unbounded being itself, gets the opportunity here now to open up to all of the finer realities of itself that are expressed in the appearance of the universe all around us here. It's a very grand thing, very beautiful thing. And so it's a joy for the being itself, to be able to open up to some of these finer realities that are within itself, that are really within the timeless, boundless, eternal light of itself, which is only, seen through the telescopes as darkness, space, outer space. It's not really outer space. It's your own inner space of consciousness itself. It's the inner space of consciousness that is just seen from a point of identification with the individual mind as something up there in the heavens somewhere. And so we have to come back to reality here. Come back to reality. There's really no out there. There's really no in here. It's all one wholeness itself that is opening up to the finer and finer levels through a point of appearance, individual appearance, through every point of individual appearance, opening up to the finer, more exquisite realities of itself that are actually there, that are really, truly here now. and it's not something, with the idea that these people have, I think they've been watching too many sci-fi movies, that they want to go to Mars and go to this and that. They've been watching too many sci-fi movies. because maybe they can do that someday. But the big deal, that is a small little smidgen of the reality of the being, of the self, of who and what you really are, right here now, present, right here now, at this moment that is infinite, unbounded, unmanifest, eternal, in pure wholeness of the true reality of the self and beyond. And so, sometimes we have to wake up and see all of this that is going on in the world around us, which is for the emotions can be a real heartbreak for the emotions. To see something that was highly respected lose its respect and its dignity. And so it's very sad for the emotions and people to see all of this conflict and everything like that, and heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. And yet, at the same level, there's some enlivenment here, because it's causing us to go more deeply within the self-referral consciousness and really find out what is taking place, and to have those emotions that are hurt and heartbroken to realize, to come awake to that's all in the process of a surrendering back to the self, back to the boundless being, back to the reality of what is. And part of the opening to the beautiful, 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 constant divine praise that is really taking place, that is really happening here. And so there's something really good taking place, even though the mind doesn't see that, can't see it. And that's okay, because we have to be practical too on the surface level, because what we want is the more of the beautiful, beautiful divine qualities to come awake and not be suppressed by all that, those harsher qualities and that. And so we would like to have all of this nice, beautiful, divine just come awake more and more and more and more. That is gives us a real, true, inner, like moral compass, a real, true goodness and purity, and really true experience more deeply, an experience of reality that is really here, the pure love, the pure joy, the pure warmth, the pure beauty, the pure softness, and just the beautiful glory of the, the praise of the divinity of herself to come a little bit more awake in the whole consciousness everywhere. And so we're in the process that is happening in this appearance of time and space. It's time and space. But really, it's already here in the timelessness of the being itself, timelessness of the being and beyond. It's already here. And so all we have to do is just infuse more of that timelessness of the true reality of the source and the material of existence itself to become more alive and awake through the appearance, through the body, body, mind, more awake in the full awakening of the consciousness. Not just some partial awakening, and partial awakening is okay too. But we want to have the whole thing, the whole shebang, right here in front of us, so we can live the way we were meant to live, in this life. We don't want to be caught in some partial ideas and follow this or follow that. We don't need to follow anything. We don't need to do anything, really. No doing. Just be awake to what is transpiring in consciousness. Awake to the consciousness itself, falling back within itself, opening itself up, beholding more of its glory as it collapses within itself to a point within itself and opens to the greatness and the beauty and the glory of itself. It's constantly doing that. It's constantly doing that. This is what's happening in consciousness itself. And when we get lost in the mind, we just get lost in the mind. And the whole thing, the whole idea, the whole reality is missed. It's really missed. And even if we have expanded consciousness, the consciousness is expanded and perception is refined, but it's not yet fully awake to the boundlessness. Then it can be awake to more of the subtle realities that are there, but from the perspective of the mind and the me. And so it's incomplete, just incomplete. The whole reality of the Akashic records are found right here in the, we can say, in the appearance of the universe, all these galaxies and universes, and all of this in the whole range of the multiverse. It's just the mind's expression of the Akashic records, of the memory of consciousness, the smrti in the consciousness itself, which is in its full value. It's just remembering itself, constantly remembering itself. This is what the real, true smrti really is. All the rest of that is mind, still mind. And so, some point, we have to just wake up a little more, and be with the simplicity of being, the simplicity of the stillness and the silence and the presence and the wakeful alertness that is present right here now in front of us, instead of being so wrapped up and caught in all of the objects of appearance. What is most dominant and prevalent and present here now is that which does not have a form. It is the formless, really the formless flow of silence, of pure stillness. And it is your own self, your own awareness itself. It's pure awareness itself that is constantly awake to itself and constantly brightening and becoming more awake to itself, deepening its own experience of itself right here now. We say beyond the appearance of form, but yet including the appearance of form and everything. It is all in reality formless form. Because the form itself is just an appearance. It's just an appearance of the frequencies of intelligence that are found in the flow of consciousness being conscious of itself. And of course, the mind is really attracted to the form. But the being itself is attracted to its own formlessness. And it's attracted to the beauty and the glory and the light, the pure light, in its formless flow of itself that is ever beckoning itself to come more awake and alive to more of the fullness of itself, and not to be caught in the emotions or the mind, or the perceptions, but to come away to the full reality of the true reality of the wholeness of the emotions, the fine feelings, the perceptions, the thoughts, everything, the whole reality. Come awake to that, so it's one whole total flow of consciousness, just coming awake more fully to itself and enjoying itself, and being with itself, filling itself up more full, and coming awake and piercing through the darkness of ignorance and opening up to more and more of the true light of the divine reality that it really is. Open up to that. Open up to that. Open up to that. The whole life around us is really divine life. It's divine. It comes from the it just appears the way it does because the mind is incapable of seeing the truth. The mind is incapable. It's only the being can see the truth. Only that witness to the mind can really awaken to the boundless reality of itself, and then start to go deeper within itself, start to find out what all of this appearance really is, in fact. And that's what happens. That's what happens. It does that. It does that. It's opening up that now. If we can just sit still, just stop, whatever you're doing, stop, just stop the intellect from its ideas, stop the imagination from its imaginations, just stop, just be here now, be awake, be present right here in this moment now. It gives an opportunity for the being to open up more fully to itself, to more of its boundless reality, at least in that direction. You know? We let go. When we let go, we collapse into something more grand, more expanded, more beautiful, more profound. And it's that openness of the being itself that can begin then, just begin to fathom the glory of itself. From that openness, that pure open space, that the mind, if it gets a peep into it, it runs away from that. It will stay away from that because it's the annihilation of the little me. The little mind gets annihilated in that opening that takes place of just that which begins to overtake and surround. It's surrounding everything, everywhere, and it just overtakes. If we can allow it to do that without getting into the fear, that is so prevalent in the world these days. It's getting beyond that collective fear that is what takes place when the stop happens, when we truly stop. And just allow the being to overtake. Allow it to overtake. We go beyond that which has been holding us back, whatever has been holding us back. Whatever ideas, whatever concepts, whatever beliefs, whatever emotions, whatever scars and stresses that have been there, that we've accumulated throughout our conditioned life, through our conditioned life. We've been living a conditioned life, just in the conditioning. And that's why we think what is happening in the life is what is really happening, is what's really true. It's far from the truth. Far from the truth. And what comes awake to the truth is not the mind. It's not the mind. It's really not even the heart at first. It's really the boundless awareness itself, the boundless being itself, the boundless true reality of the self that you really are, who you really are. That's what comes awake more, and just kind of severs the false idea that I am this body mind. At some point, when the depth of the being itself and the wholeness of awareness is deep enough, awake enough, more profound, and right here now, at some point, that's what happens. It severs the idea that I am just this body, mind person living in this world. And that is the first step, but the most essential thing, the first step for that awareness itself, that boundless field of awareness itself, to be able to find out what it really is and what all of this really is. You know, this is a glorious majesty of creation and beyond that is we are and can behold right now. You know, if we get out of the mind idea, you know, it's there right here now, waiting for us to let go, give up, surrender to this wholeness. And it's not only that, the wholeness of the being itself has to, at some point, surrender from its silence to its light, its pure light, that it really is. You know? And so we just, why can't we just be so simple? Just simple and let go. Allow the field of awareness itself, the pure field of awareness itself, to just overtake, and have it crystallize in its own experience of itself, to come awake to more of the supremely beautiful divine reality that it really truly is, and that all of this is. All of this is in the appearance of it. It's an image. This whole life we're living, this whole creation that the senses perceive, is really just an image, we could say, of the smrti, the memory of consciousness coming awake to this supremely beautiful divine reality of itself. So let's open up a little bit more and let go and come a little closer to the truth and the reality that is waiting for us right present here now, all around and in front of us. No. So let's just let go. Let's